What's going on, everybody? It is IBB James, and I'm excited to be back here with my man, my friend, the Alex Zinni, the lead singer, guitarist, songwriter, and just really cool guy of the Bro Dylan. So check out his band, check him out. He also has his own business where he does digital marketing, websites, social media, all that awesome internet stuff. And his first key to success he just shared, and it was, go back and watch it, because this is part 2 of the hashtag IBB Top 3
Trilogy.
Ooh, trilogy. And without further ado, let's dive right into it, brother.
Sure. Yeah. So a second top 3 for me is being willing to embrace the unknown. And I guess what I mean by that is that
I like that.
My personality is I like to, as an entrepreneur and stuff and leader of the band, I like to get my ducks in a row and be in control. And,
yes.
I want to have my hands on everything. And when things aren't going my way, I'm like, So
do it again.
The problem with that is that life doesn't behave that way. And you have to embrace the unknown. But not only do you have to embrace it, but you have to learn to love it. Because things are going to be thrown your way, and you have to see them as challenges, and you have to see them as opportunities. And you have to learn to love the ambiguity that is, all around us.
Yeah.
So I guess the way to do that is to, one, like I said, embrace that unknown. What's coming tomorrow, we don't know. And meet that challenge head on.
Yeah.
And to not be afraid of it, but to learn to enjoy that process.
I love that comment. Life does not behave that way, and it just kind of made me think of my 7-month-old son that I had. He was home. He had pink eye and he had an ear infection.
There you go.
And that's just part of life. That's how life behaves. Is, hey, I got so many plans.
Mm-hmm. I
got the perfect day lined up, all my meetings, and then Erica calls me. Hey, I can't pick him up. I need you to pick him up, and it's like, wait a minute. I was in control. I was in the zone. Like,
I had things to
say,
do.
but at the same, so like, that's just an example of I'm gonna have that pretty much the rest of my life. Is the JJ effect of life not behaving.
Absolutely.
The control. That's what's wild.
Yeah. Is
we talked to too in the previous video about being creative and free spirits, blah blah blah. But man. Yeah, I think that like the entrepreneurial thing of you need creativity, but you do have that instinct of control.
Absolutely.
So like, what are some things you do to kind of help remind yourself of, hey, this isn't happening the way I thought it would, but I'm going to enjoy it, or I'm going to adapt.
Yeah.
Like what are some things that you do to help remind yourself?
Well, first thing I'll do is I'll remind myself of what I do have. And how grateful I am.
Can you say that again?
Yeah. I remind myself of what I do have.
What you do have, not what you don't have.
Don't focus on what you don't have. Focus on what you do have. I have a great family, a great emotional support system. I have great friends.
Yes.
I found early in life that I love music, and I learned how to play it, and that gives me so much satisfaction to do that. And, so focus on what you do have. And then, when you do that, you're instantly relieved of the problem of control. But then, also, if that doesn't do it for you, and sometimes it doesn't, it's not enough.
That doesn't float your boat.
You have to think about the times where things didn't go a certain way, but the result was amazing, and you could not have planned for it. Yep. There's so many things that happen in life that you could probably just chalk it up to coincidence, or you could say, there's destiny. Either one, things happen all the time that you didn't plan on that turn out to be awesome. Like being here today. Right? I saw you at a coffee shop a week ago.
Yeah, we're just hanging out.
And I was doing some work, and he said, do you want to do IBB Top 3? Now, I didn't plan on that, but this is great, and I'm happy to be here.
And I didn't, it's like, obviously, that's usually how these videos come about, is we'll bump into someone that we know, like, and trust, and say, hey, you should do a video, and here we are. So,
and I think it's great.
Very cool, man. And that's how I got my new favorite T-shirt.
New T-shirt.
So focus on what I do have. So if if the sky is falling, I'd be like, hey, I got my Bro Dylan shirt. Everything will be fine. No, I think that's we spend our entire. And you and I, we're not in business or rocking out in the band just to be like, well, it is what I what I do have. We're trying to push the limits always to not necessarily get what we don't have just to get it, but because you and I feel like we enjoy a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely.
We enjoy, like, especially playing in a band. Like,
that's a challenge.
It's you'll not, you can't, you're not a singer, you're not an artist, you're not a song, you're not a this, and then talking about, like, I think we were talking about, like, back in the day, like, Scene Magazine just tore me up, like, absolutely. They're like, oh, James, we're just gonna fillet him and put it out to the world, and obviously there's that initial, like, oh man, I feel like crap, but like that drove me so hard. So do you feel too, like, when you're talking about reminding yourself what you do have is focus, turning that negative into a positive and feeding off the haters.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's important, to turn the negative into the positive. I think it's important, to, like I said in my first top 3, which you'll have to go watch. I'm not going to repeat it.
Sorry.
But like I was saying, in my first top 3, there's a level of balance you have to strike. So don't be too positive, don't be too negative. Obviously, lean more positive.
You have to address the situation. You have to be realistic.
You have to be realistic too, and it's not sustainable to be overly positive all the time or overly negative all the time. So just be realistic about it.
And you can be realistic while being optimistic. I feel like, I'm saying, like, optimism.
You choose optimism.
Is there's either the optimistic or the pessimistic.
Yeah.
And that's a choice. That's
not
the choice. That's not I was just born this way.
Right.
That's not
That's looking at the facts.
My life is a disaster. It's like you're choosing to look at the reality.
Yeah. And you slant it a certain way at that point.
Right. What lens are you looking through? It's still reality. So you're going to see the good in it or the bad in it.
Yeah. No doubt. So choose the good.
Come man. All right, cool. Well, we're just gonna keep this video going because I'm learning so much. So
cool.
Anything else to add, brother?
No, I think be comfortable with that. Be comfortable with embracing the unknown, and if you're an entrepreneur, you're gonna have to do that constantly.
That's kind of the gig.
That's the gig.
That's
the gig. Wake up today and see what it brings, because you don't necessarily know. You can plan for the future, but you gotta adapt.
Right. Family Guy. There's an episode where they started a band. And
I saw that episode.
They show up and they're about to start and they're like, oh crap, we didn't learn any songs. So, like, that's too, being an entrepreneur, being a community advocate, embracing the unknown is you got to learn some stuff, but you still got to go out. So just make sure that you at least have a song to sing.
There you go.
Know what you're gonna say when you show up, at least, but you still got it. If you don't show up, then it doesn't matter what you were gonna say.
Doubt.
It does not matter what you think, what you feel, what your views are, if you're not gonna show up and at least give yourself a shot and put it into action, trying to help people. So,
absolutely.
Sorry, I just got fired up. So, ideas are nothing without action. So
yes,
be like your buddy Alex, your buddy Bro Dylan, and take action. Embrace the unknown and enjoy it.
Enjoy.
Love every second of it. All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us for part 2. Come back for part 3. If you missed part 1, scroll on back. But until next time,
stay burn proof.